welcome back to an episode of Vampyr. It's been a little while. If I remember correctly, I finally got back into playing the main quest line. It's been about time. I kind of, sort of, not really apologize for the delay in the storyline. I believe I did give everyone fair warning. I get sidetracked by the side quests. So it looks right here. We're doing blackmail in Whitechapel, and we need to find Clayton Darby. And I don't know why. I really don't remember, but we need to find Clayton. All I remember, the last part I remember is we used our vampiric sense to peer through some bars, and we saw one of the nurses who I believe is a little not on the up and up, and it was not good. So let's find out what's going to happen, because I really have no idea. I feel like I should just get through the storyline, but I know this is not a game where you can just skip parts. You really do need to complete everything. I know a lot of people don't like this game because they say it's basically a choose your own adventure in a game format. But that's kind of like the Telltale games, is it not? The Telltale games are pretty popular. Maybe I'll do one of the Telltale games. I have the Batman. Yes, I have the Batman ones. I would love to get the Game of Thrones. I played the free chapters. I don't like that some of the choices, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. So it kind of feels like, what's the point of giving me a choice if you're going to take it away from me anyway? But regardless, this storyline, this game, it's everything you do changes throughout the game. So high replay value. Everything I do changes. So if you guys remember when I was trying to fight off those really difficult Skald to save that person, if I left him, I might have missed a lot of things. If I killed off that one gentleman, the ambulance driver, if I killed him off, I might miss a really important artifact later on. Let's see what's in here. Alcohol and a screw. But now why can't I squeeze through there? That is plenty of room for me to get in. Fine, leaving it. Okay. Amen for quest markers. Oh, grocery store. I thought it said crutchery store. It's like, how many people are going to be needing crutches that you have a whole entire store devoted to them? I have no idea if I miss parts by doing stuff. Just an influenza poster. I keep thinking I can sprint by doing that, but I cannot. I hear a bunch of skulls. It's gonna be a party. Why did I just randomly pick up bullets? I feel like I've been this way, because that garbage can is already... Yes, I went this way. This was the church I got so excited about because this was in the trailer.
By your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you.
There's horror everywhere, dude. Live with
Pay me a
it.
glass and I'll be gentle.
Or, better
Pay me a
yet,
bottle
don't live
and
with
I'll
it.
be nasty.
Fight it and change it. As Jacksepticeye would say, positive mental attitude.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Very true. What are her ulterior motives?
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals,
No one
but I
does.
don't like you asking questions.
Fair enough.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Sad.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story.
Story
The
time.
war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Romania, vampires, so yeah. This one.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me.
Oh, do you have a kid?
I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
I can make it my concern, and I can help you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy
nope,
Crane
wait.
from the Pembroke
Oh.
Hospital?
I don't know.
You seem to...
Dorothy...
Here we go. I need to go through that again.
Goodbye, miss.
I believe there is a game, if you ask the same question over and over again,
Pay me a glass and I'll
the person goes, we've already talked about this. Enough. Oh, good, we unlocked it. Was this a door I couldn't get through? Where are we? I swear, this phone, whenever I go to record, it always wants to go off. Enough. Enough. I guarantee you, it's a prank phone call.
It's locked, all right.
Okay. I can't zip it a dude out here. Any secrets there? None.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
I don't like this Joe. Which one of you is Joe?
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
There's still no, like, facial expression. They didn't really do any facial capture.
As a
And it's a
merchant,
little
you see
annoying.
Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
I bet it was... Yes, I did just do that.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Kitty cat came to say hello. Oh, you're stuck on my cord. There we go. No, that's just awkward. Okay, hold on. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Oh my goodness. It's so complicated. Alright. Yeah, so you know. Let me sit cross-legged. There you go. Now you can sit. Sheesh. If you guys have any fur babies. Yeah. You're a little tough sometimes. Oh, you're tough? Never. Never. Sure, but the migrants. She's just trying to help. Why were you mad at her?
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Why is that a bad thing? Damn it! I don't want to like her. I got hints for some people, but I don't know who.
Right then. Show me what you have.
I need some stuff. I don't remember what. I think I needed one of you. Let's buy you just in case. Let's save this for now.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Hold on. I need to do... Wow, you guys have a lot of diseases. Cold, bronchitis, fatigue. Jeez Louisa. Okay, can I see... Oh, so I did unlock that. You look like a jerk. You were the asshole, right? Skulls, and he used... Right. I got that one, but I didn't get this one? That doesn't make sense. So can
Cheap
I...
price.
Hi, yes.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your foot. Right then.
No,
Show me.
I wanted...
Fancy buying?
You never...
I thought I just unlocked... I need to pay more attention to the left side of my screen.
Goodbye for now, Miss...
Okie dokie, let's talk to this jerk.
Excuse
Joe!
me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Politely rude.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
You asshole.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Oh, that's lovely. And you wonder why we don't want to come here.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here?
Yes, let's find out
Barrett
more
can
about
be as
Barrett.
sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
So what happened? Okay, personal questions. Nothing. Right.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
So you are kind of a good guy.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
You're just trying to survive with the hand that was dealt to you.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never...
So are you really the asshole?
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known
Who's the
Joe
villain?
for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his
happened?
wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
So he just got angry.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Such a weird name. I wonder if that was a
Goodbye
real
for now,
thing.
Mr. Lewis.
Because I know they tried to make everything as accurate as they could. But I wonder.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Understandable. We can get our first, like, whoosh.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Oh, why does he
Even
seem
my
so
dreams
sad?
are soaked with gloom.
What? I'm just gonna steal some stuff. Hope you don't mind.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Oh, you look so sad. Why does it look like you have a contamination? You're contaminated with something.
How do you feel?
I'm fine.
Sorry, I have cat
I
fur
mean, it's not
all
easy
over me.
every day, but I'm fine.
Oh, baby.
I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Peterson. Do we know another Peterson? Let's find out. Oh. A little bit shocked, but
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place?
I feel like that's the
Have you ever
question for
spoken to your
everyone.
father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Totally fair enough. Is it those I was asking? Yes, this one.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
So he was just trying to protect his family. He knew that by joining the gang, his family would be protected.
Do you know Nurse
It's
Dorothy
not
Crane
so
from the Pembroke
wrong,
Hospital?
But
I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
so you're just vitamin D deficient.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
What do you need? I want to help you. Here. Fatigue. Do I have one for fatigue?
So,
I think I have one for
may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
So he has depression.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Nope. Okay. This phone. I keep needing to disconnect when I start playing, and I always forget.
It's locked, all right.
Well, if I kill him, I'll probably get the key. Ooh. Oh, he was trying to get a job. Job refusal letter. Dear Mr. Peterson, it is my duty to inform you of our refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for the time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation with your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife. But it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company, which expressly reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your unfortunate connections with the ill-famed Whip Boop boys have been duly noted. These are hard times, sir, and Fitch and Hopper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy, and may God be with you and your family. So, he was trying to do good, but I understand the company's point of view. You don't know if they are truly reformed or not. It's a very difficult situation. Ooh, that's nice. No load screen. I know, guys. I thought I was going to do main quest line.
What do you want this time?
Sidetracked.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now, and people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
I just gave him medicine.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Not a good option.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
You know,
Goodbye,
you could just
Mr.
tell
Peterson.
him, I know you're not happy here. We can move to a different town.
Fancy buying something,
a
sir?
nicer town. We could try again.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him
rude.
exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye for now,
Not how
Mr.
you
Lewis.
trust someone with depression.
I know it's hard to believe, but this...
Who's this? Hello.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby.
found Clayton.
Reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist.
Oh, excuse me.
My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Well, yes, I am. Thank you. Ooh. Let's do this one.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Makes sense.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery.
This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Good for you.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Nope. Should we break the fourth wall?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really?
Vampires.
To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Yeah.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
I believe you already talked to him.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Did you get said letter?
I still...
I don't...
Okay, fine.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Alright, we did more of the quest. We spoke to Mr. Darby. So I don't feel so bad. We went that way already. Nope. Oh. Okie dokie. What was the point of that? What was the point? For what purpose?
I cannot enter.
But I can jump up here. I can't climb over these. So, what's the point?
Would you like me to revive you?
free.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise.
Yeah, your promises are worth nothing. Interesting. If you are sick, you have no money, whoever you are. Oh, this is Dorothea's voucher. Darius Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you've not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war. But there is also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty, against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I am writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world... You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Pretty.
I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm,
I don't know
truly.
what that is, but I heard of it. Alright, I'm gonna end here.
Very well.
See you guys later.
Goodbye then.
Goodbye then.